9138.
7:34 the time, 98.7 WFGR. Andy O and Dave Cackley, and our surprise mystery guest is revealing himself now. Who is it?
Hello, I'm Brian Vander.
Hey, look at that.
Brian Vander.
Revealing myself.
Yeah, that sounded a little suggestive.
Well,
you got to be careful.
We got to keep some suspense. It's kind of like the Tonight Show when the guest pops up behind the curtain.
Thank you for that. Thank you for the hype.
Yeah, exactly.
I appreciate the hype.
How you been, man?
I've been good, man.
Brian Vander Ark, of course, with the let's go way back. Started off being
pipe,
Johnny with an I.
Yes.
And then
Dude,
the verb
you're
pipe.
old school. Listen to this.
Here's
old school.
I've got the old school on this dude. I really have.
Back in 1990, your brother Scott came into the old custom countertop company with a little cassette of Johnny with an I with the fresh, like the original recording of the Freshman.
Sure, yeah.
So, like, before.
Did he sell it to you?
No.
No, but it's on eBay now.
No, he dated my older sister Marie, so we got it for free. But it was an amazing. It sounded great, but by the time you guys released it,
right?
Back in what was it, 96?
Yeah, 96.
I'd heard it like for 6 years.
You had been well sick of it by then.
It's still a huge song.
It's a great song,
deal. I mean, you guys really broke the mold. I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily you broke the mold, but you were the first real big breakout artist of West Michigan in quite some time.
If that's true, I wear that badge proudly. I mean, Michigan's got a great reputation for music,
right?
And most of that though is on the east side of the state, And if we can represent the west side in some way, awesome.
Yeah,
great, man. I love it over here. That's why I still live here.
That's right.
I mean,
you are still living
place.
here. You got a family now.
I got my wife to move here from California.
Wow.
Yeah, Northern California too, like wine country. I said, "Come on to Michigan." The first winter was a little dicey on the marriage.
Right, I can imagine.
I wasn't completely honest about the weather situation, but it worked out in the end. The thing is, I just got her pregnant.
Right.
Nice.
That's what you have to do.
That's what I did way back when.
Good for
years
you
back.
Man. Talk about your experience as the verb pipe was getting closer and closer to a record deal. I mean, you guys. You had West Michigan wrapped up. Everybody, and you were kind of doing the whole Midwest at that point. And then RCA came along and.
Well, there's a certain I don't know that the band went through this period where we were the big fish in the little pond, I guess you'd call it. Not to say West Michigan's a little pond, but in compared to what the world market is,
right?
And then to become the little fish in this huge pond was a bit of a slap in the face. And when we signed with RCA, we thought, well, we've made it,
right?
Just not the case. It's
really?
A lot of work. Well, I mean, how many bands get signed, and if you don't get any kind of priority, then they're totally dismissed. And we realized pretty quickly that after our second single didn't do as well as what it should have, the label was gonna drop the album before the Freshman even came out.
No kidding.
That would have been the end. Yeah. But we convinced them, look, we'll re-record the Freshman and make it a hit song and give us this chance, and they did, and they took a chance, and it worked out.
It did.
Yeah.
So
number one. It was number one for
a
few weeks.
It was number one, yeah. And look, I mean, when we knocked U2 off the number one spot, dude, does it get any better than that? I mean, please. I take that. I mean, I'm going to milk that forever.
Now, how long were you into your career at that point? 96. You'd been doing it for a while, even by 1996.
Yeah, I think we had been. The band had been together since '92, but I mean, I've been in different bands and playing around the state since I was in high school. I started playing at the Holiday Inn bars.
Yeah.
The first gig I ever had, I only knew like 10 songs. And I had to play 5 sets, so I just played the same 10 songs over and over and over at the Holiday Inn, in hopes that there was a big turnover.
Right. Now, looking back over all those years, I mean, talk about some of the experiences of being, at the level you were. I mean, you guys, you walked in and you noticed our KISS poster right off the bat.
Dude, we opened for KISS, when they first put the makeup back on in '96. We opened for them, and we toured with them for 30 dates. In fact, we did 14 dates in the South. And that was tough.
I can imagine.
And no, seriously, I mean, everybody that opens for KISS gets booed.
Right.
And that's all there is to it. And especially we were a no-name band then. I mean, the Freshman hadn't been out.
Right.
And we were, it was a nothing but anxiety for me. But when Gene Simmons himself said, hey, you should come to Europe with us, I was like, oh, yeah, of course we'll come to Europe.
So you
That's
did?
A great idea.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, I totally went to Europe with him, too.
Nice.
It was terrible.
The
Germans hated us, of all people. God. And I spoke German, and they hated us.
Did you do 99 luft balloons? You should have.
Oh,
see, there you go.
I should have thought of that.
That would have been a hit.
Dang it.
Man.
But I mean, what an experience though. I mean, I was in the Kiss Army. I had the Kiss pillowcases.
See, you know what though? Here's the thing.
You know,
I tried to get into the Kiss Army 150 times, and every time I'd send that reply card in a live one to Grand Central Station, it would come back stamped. It would say, "Hey, nobody's here at this address anymore."
They have the
Thanks.
don't ask, don't tell policy.
Yeah, it was like,
then.
you know what? It was like they kind of looked at me and said, "You're a little fat kid. We don't want you in the Kiss Army."
Sorry, we can't.
I tried. I really did.
I'm pretty sure that Gene Simmons doesn't care as long as you've got a little bit of cash to buy some merchandise.
Yeah, I would have
and
never
care
known
what you
that.
look like.
Did what's her face come on the road with him? I don't even know if
Shannon Tweed.
Shannon Tweed.
Shannon, sure, she was there.
Yeah,
she was there.
That's got to be.
You know, the guy. He was the only guy that he came around to the dressing room about every show.
Did he really?
Yeah, chatted with us. He was a great guy. He was a terrific guy. You know, Paul and the other guys. You know, whatever. But Gene really was a good guy.
Cool. He's a good mentor to you.
He was a great mentor. I mean, he taught me some really valuable things about business. I mean, he's all business.
Right.
You know, for instance, he would tell me don't sign when you sign autographs or whatever it is, don't ever personalize them because they're not worth as much money.
Right.
Yeah, don't ever say, "Dear Mark, thanks for being a fan."
But other artists will do that the exact opposite way. They will personalize them so you can't go out and sell them.
Right.
Yeah,
on
exactly
eBay or
right.
whatever.
But he's not all about that.
No.
If there's a way to make more money.
Well, I'll tell you what, and it's a good thing too because this is nice, right? The Kiss thing
it's
here.
Amazing.
At home, I've got one of two in the world of "You Wanted the Best, You Got the Best," and all the way around it are all 28 of their other albums, about a baseball card size.
Oh yeah,
it's autographed by all four original members.
Oh, great! Dude.
Now you figure I've spent 24 years on the radio. If I can get maybe 10 grand out of that when they start dying off, I might have a retirement.
See, that's the problem is they're not dying.
I know.
You figure someone would have had a stroke or a coronary
now,
by
can
now.
I ask you this? Is that in here because your wife won't let it in the house?
That's in here because it's so big. I mean, I tried all over the house to find places to put that. And it was
Where
just
can you put it?
I'm putting that at the radio station.
That's a good call.
We're talking to Brian Vanderark of the Verve Pipe. He stopped in this morning. Now, we got a little bit of the backstory there.
Yeah.
Talk about what's coming up in the future. What are you guys up to?
The Verve Pipe's making a new. We actually made two kids records now. The kids records thing went crazy for us. I mean, we played Lollapalooza. We did Lollapalooza twice on the kids stage, which is still a huge stage.
Yeah.
5,000 kids show up to these kids shows. It's crazy because everybody grew up essentially, and they all have kids now, and they want to bring their kids.
Right.
And now we're playing Austin City Limits again for the second time, and it's been an amazing ride.
Do you throw one of your old hits out when you're playing the kids shows?
No, we stick to the kids.
Do you?
We stick strictly to the kids stuff. But the kids stuff. We have a song called "Cereal," and I fill up my acoustic guitar with a family-sized box of Fruity Pebbles and pour it all over myself. It's that kind of nutty stuff that kids love. Just shenanigans.
You know what I'm picturing? Charlie Waffles.
Oh yeah,
from 2.5 Men.
Right.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
Be doing some.
This album we got a song called "Hot Soup," and I'm going to pour hot soup all over myself. So we'll see how that
You could get a
goes.
Campbell's deal out of that.
Yeah, I thought we could get a Kellogg's deal from the cereal. What do I got to do?
You're an hour
I got to
away.
hit these guys over the head.
Hey, we're local.
A bunch of dinosaurs over there.
So
I hope they're not a sponsor.
The kids' records are doing great. And
they're doing great. Yeah.
What else you working on?
I'm working on a new rock record.
Really?
For the Verve Pipe as well. Yeah. And so we're going in to record that in October. But doing some solo stuff and got the show at the Wealthy Theater here.
Yeah, it's
coming up. Tomorrow night. Yeah,
really? Okay.
Yeah. So I got members of the Verve Pipe joining me and some friends from Nashville coming. My wife, Lux Land, plays as well. So it's kind of a variety show, fun thing.
Are you still doing the yard concerts?
I do. Oh, that's how I pay my mortgage.
I got to tell you what.
Huge.
I got to tell you what. At one point, my sister's having a party over at her house. And all right, we'll go to the party. So I'm standing there in the garage, and they're waiting for the party to get started, and Brian comes walking up. And I looked at it, and I looked at it because here's the thing: my sister was going to Western when these guys were really coming up hard and getting there. So it's like, does Liz know Brian? And I'm looking at Brian. He comes walking up her driveway. I'm like, what the hell are you doing here? He goes, well, I came to play. Yeah. And I didn't get it. I didn't know he was doing these yard concerts, it was one of the neatest, most cool things I'd ever been a part of.
Dude, it's been a huge thing for me. I started doing it 7 years ago, and basically just they're house concerts. Nobody was doing house concerts, not as popular as they are now. But I just go into somebody's house and play for an hour and then hang out for an hour. And then I just go drive right to the next one. I do like 4 on Saturdays.
Yeah.
4, and then Saturdays and Sundays. And I do it all summer. I mean, I've got 60 shows booked for this summer. And but that's like almost cut in half. Last year was like 100, but I'm trying to retire it a little bit. So I had to raise my price a little bit. But frankly, it's like, it's one of these things where there's no wall between the fan and the musician, and they can pick all the songs they want me to play, and it's just a good time.
It's really
every one of them's awesome.
An amazing intimate experience to have
Yeah.
Brian show up and play in your yard like that. It was just
And
the coolest thing.
we've never had, my manager was concerned that somebody might book me and some woman might book me and say there's going to be 50 people and it's just her in a wedding dress or something. But that hasn't happened yet. So,
but now it
awesome.
will. Yeah.
Now it's going.
Hey, that's a great idea.
Oh, that'd be a good prank, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Yes, if you're living in a single wide somewhere and have a wedding dress sitting around, call and book Brian.
If you're Miss Havisham from Great Expectations.
Yeah.
So the show tomorrow night at Wealthy Theater. What time is this?
8:00 show.
And you're going to be doing.
I do some vert pipe stuff. I
Yep.
got some solo stuff that I do as well. So vert pipe stuff acoustically and some rock stuff and full band. It's a great band.
That's cool.
But I put together a great bunch of musicians.
I remember seeing one of your shows at the State Theater in Kalamazoo years ago. You guys did a rendition of the Beatles' "Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds."
Yeah.
That was, I thought, was better than the original.
Oh,
I remember watching.
I love
I know
it.
Beatles fans say it's blasphemy.
Yeah.
It
well,
was
they were a bunch of
so
slackers.
good. Exactly. I mean, whatever became of them?
Yeah, exactly.
But no, it was. I remember listening to that, going, "This is the best version of this song I've ever heard." It was that good and that brilliant.
The thing about those doing cover songs, I think you have to make them your own.
Right,
you can't
exactly.
try to sound like the Beatles. What would be the point? So
Right.
whenever we cover anything, or when I do cover things acoustically, I try to make it somewhat my own and put my own style in it. And that's what's fun to me. It's not fun to go out and mimic somebody unless you're in a tribute band.
Right, exactly. And you did that with like Supertramp too. I noticed.
Yeah,
a
we
couple
do
of your shows.
we do the Supertramp songs. I mean the vinyl. I grew up with vinyl and those albums. And 8 tracks as
Right.
well.
Yep.
Remember on 8 tracks where you'd hear a song and in the middle of it would fade out and
Yep.
then go to the next track, and then it would like fade back in, and that was
man.
acceptable to us.
Right. Yeah. It's like, oh, this
It's
is
like,
so
that's
great
fine.
technology.
Oh, man. Let's get one last little everybody wants to know type thing in. Let's
Yeah,
talk about
bring
your
it on.
movie career.
Oh yeah,
Rockstar.
Oh yeah.
I got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Rockstar is one of my top 3 guilty pleasure movies of all time.
Yep.
I can sit and watch that every time it comes on without fail.
And let's hope
It
it's
was-
10 times a day.
Oh, I
because
love
I
it.
get paid every time.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I get paid.
You get back end on that?
Every single time it's
That is
played. I get
fantastic.
money from
Nice.
that. Absolutely. It might be 15 cents.
Nonetheless.
But
I
still,
actually got a
that's-
check for 15 cents.
Are you
royalty.
kidding me?
I open up the check and I'm like, 15 cents. It's like the stamp was more money. Why would they even do that? But,
Couldn't you get direct
Unbelievable.
deposit for the 15 cents? You would think.
You'd think so. No, that was a great experience, man.
Yeah?
And I get to be with Zach Wilde and the guys from Slaughter and a bunch of
Right.
like rockers and actors together. It was a riot. It was 3 months of bliss. It was awesome.
So, got to ask you about Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, please do.
Yeah?
She
what
was amazing.
Really?
She was amazing. I had a great picture of her. She was kissing me goodbye.
Whoa.
And the publicist said, "Look, I'm going to give you this picture, but you can never release." She was married to Brad Pitt.
Right.
You can
Oh.
never have this released.
Right.
And I had this picture framed in my apartment, and I left it. Ended up breaking up with the girl, and she went into my apartment and destroyed my picture.
Oh no!
I was like, oh.
No, was it like?
damn.
Let me ask you: was it just like a goodbye kiss on the cheek? Was it just a? Was it
No,
a peck?
It was a peck. But
No
it
open
wasn't on
mouth?
the cheek.
Oh, I get an
It was a
idea.
peck.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
being
Well,
very.
she's not. Look, she's not stupid enough to
Right,
throw away
exactly.
her career
Right.
on me and my lips.
I mean,
And she's got Brad Pitt, by the way, at that point.
So going to you would have been a sideways move.
Yeah, it would have been a
well,
sideways
yeah.
move. I mean, I did the whole sneak one in. So,
Right.
Speaking of the movie, can you do us a tune
Yeah, dude, I'll do that.
from the
I'll do
Rockstar?
Colorful. Sure.
Colorful. I love this song. You
That's
ever heard
the
this song?
that
Yes.
Mark
Love this song.
Wahlberg lip synced
At
to
the end.
my voice. Yeah, and that was a little weird
All right.
until the checks started coming in. Then it all seemed.
Then
okay.
it was fine.
show is over, close